Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Oh, looks like we got the gorilla in the house right now. So V,
I
you're
know.
here. Give us that gorilla introduction, sir.
Hey. Good morning, everyone. You savages. Welcome to Algo Factory Tech. And every single one of you that are not part of Algo Factory, I recommend that you join us. I recommend you scan that QR code. Get on board the most prolific, most incredible, most bestest trading group on God's green earth. And the reason why we are the best, we're the only place that not only teaches you a very in-depth curriculum that we make it easy for you to learn how to trade, but we also teach you how to construct the algorithms that trade on your behalf 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, no matter the market conditions or whatever the heck is going on. Algo Factory's got your back. And we're also the place that gives you the geopolitical, geostrategic, and geoeconomic in a way that nobody else can. Why is that important? Well, it kind of tells you where the market is, where it's going to go, and what's going to possibly affect it. So you can get ahead of the trend, and where the trend becomes your friend, and there is no end to the profits you make, because this is how we do it when we take the advice right here on algofactory.tech. So scan that QR code, click the link in the description box, and join us or die.
The advice that we don't give because we don't give investment advice.
We don't give investment advice. We just give commentary.
Well, we give advice we give advice as far as how to build algos, the nuts and bolts. That's all. I guess you could call that advice. Call it instructions is probably more what that's about. But the investment advice goes to the licensed people who do such things. So yeah, man, just I don't know. How's your morning going, dude?
It's wonderful, man. So far, so good. I can't complain. I mean, I could complain, but
But who's listening?
Who's listening?
That's awesome. Yeah, dude. No one likes complainer. No one likes complainer, and that's like one of the things we have to manage in our life is the people with whom we surround ourselves. Are they complainers? And how do we deal with that? And there's two things we can do when life comes at us in a way that we don't enjoy. It's okay to complain a little bit. I think it's a natural reaction, but I'm more of an action taker than a complainer. In fact, I have a very, how do I put this? I've trained myself not to complain because it's just, you don't want that energy, man. Just to be whining about stuff. Complaining to me is like babies crying.
Complaining to you is like
babies cry because they can't fix the problem. That's what babies do. They cry. They need a parent's help. So if you're complaining, it means that you're not necessarily interested in fixing the problem. Now, there's another way to do this, is that if you identify the problem and you look for a solution, sometimes that sounds like a complaint, but it's just merely identifying the problem. And that's one of the reasons why, what is this, 2024? So 8 years ago, I began listening to Rogue News because I had gone through, all these different kind of alt media, this and that and the other. And there were just so many people who were complaining. They were complaining, whining about the gay frogs, whining about whatever. And, but
well, let me tell you something, cowboy. I'll tell you right now. Once you read the white papers and you understand what's happening with the globalists and the fact that they have a slave colony on Mars, you can't sleep at night.
Do they have I found this, I just randomly, somebody did like a folk song version of Alex Jones rants, and it's really funny.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Also, I'll find it. I don't know if I want to, take the show's time to show that, but it's hilarious. But what we do over here is we identify the problems, but we actually create solutions, which is what Algo Factory is all about. So, what are the solutions? I think there aren't too many problems that can't get solved by money. There are some. There's certainly problems that can solve by money. I can tell you for sure that there are problems that when you don't have money, there are certainly problems that exist. And when you have access to funds, those problems go away. That's for sure. And so what we're here to do is to help everybody develop the means to insulate themselves from such problems, right? COVID hit, people lost their jobs. That's when the markets went crazy because people turned to the markets because that's all that was left. And that's pretty much, I think, how things would go. If there was another situation where we had to stay home or, the economy fell apart, or everybody's losing their jobs, I think the only thing left were the markets.
The eclipse is about to happen.
Oh, yes. They're going to draw an X across the U.S. or something.
That's it. X marks the spot.
I've seen the white papers. Well, the eclipse is coming. Yeah, I don't know.
Well, here's the thing, cowboy. I was doing a lot of reading the other day, and I was thinking to myself as I was walking through the Texas Hill Country that
you were watching, don't you?
The Rothschilds and the Rocket Boogers, That's a higher level of the Illuminati chain. I don't know if you know about that, Cowboy. It's not the Rockefellers, the Rockaboogers. They're marked an X on the spot, and I'll tell you right now, guys, I'm actually terrified about this. We're probably going to have a biological nuke. That's right, a biological nuke. It's not only a nuke, but it's also biological. It's going to turn everybody gay like a neutron bomb.
They should have like a mashup of Alex Jones and Hulk Hogan. Wouldn't that be something,
brother?
Well, I'm gonna grab some code here, send it to my coder.
Oh, thank you, Opus Minimus.
Awesome. What is this? Oh yeah, I put that up there. That's how long ago was that, V?
Oh my God, January 2013.
Yeah, that's
that was
awesome.
when I came out with my claim to fame. I was like, look, bankers are going to start dropping dead in Wall Street, and it's going to start happening. And then bang, bang, bang. It's just like the year of 2013 was so many bankers from the end of 2012 going to 2013. 53 bankers committed suicide, quote unquote.
I remember that. Yeah, banker suicides. What the hell is that even about?
Long story. I won't mention it here. Look, man, I got in trouble for that one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I got the phone call in the middle of the night saying knock it off. And then Bloomberg did.
Oh, really? Who gave you a phone call? Like, did a scary person give you a phone call, or did a friendly person give you a phone call?
A friendly person was connected to some very scary people.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and then what was it? Then Bloomberg Vision did a hit piece on me, which if I got to go back and see if I can find it in the Wayback Machine or something. But yeah,
that's crazy, dude.
Yeah. That's how you know you're right on target.
So that was like the beginning of, Yeah,
they're like, we don't know what this guy V the gorilla is talking about because clearly it's just stress. I'm like, okay, so the head of the London trade desk at JPM and the head of the New York trade desk of JPM, who happens to see the same data, both kill themselves. One guy's 36 and the other guy's like 35. One jumps off the 33rd floor of their headquarters in London. And the other guy just conveniently has a heart attack at 36 years old before the jibby jabs were even rolled out. This is back in like 2013. So yeah, okay, all right, sure.
That's not scary at all. That's totally chill. Like, you should just be okay with that.
It's just another day, man. Nothing to see here. Keep it moving. Look, the sports ball's on.
Sports ball. Pay attention to the sports ball.
Sports ball. Wait, man. Hey, cool stuff, bro. But did you see the game last night?
Let me see. I guess it is. All right. So I just sent some code over to my coder, and basically what we're doing is we're putting the finishing touches on the alerts. So the alerts that we're going to actually make available to the public, you're looking at them right here. So for example, this is Bitcoin, and this is on the 3-hour chart, and Bitcoin said to go long Bitcoin. The indicator that I freaking invented said to go long right here at 72,000, and then it said to get out right at about 72,000, right? And that, like, it really would have been an exit as high as 73. So it would have been a real slight profit, but then it said to go short, and it said to go short at, let's see here. The entry to the candle for a short would have been 73,125, and it still hasn't said to get out. So had I just, taken the trade based on the indicator alone, I would have gotten in this little long. I would have gotten out at a very small profit, and then I would have entered a short. I would have shorted at 73,000, and I'd still be in it at 63,000. In fact, it went all the way down to 61. So we're going to make this available. We're just waiting on our web developers to get those up on the website with options to make that available for rent. Now, we're not releasing the code. The code is mine. The code is via the Gorilla's code. You have that's access to that, but we don't. There are a few reasons for that, but among them is we don't want the liability. We don't want people attaching these indicators to their actual trading accounts because people don't really know what they're doing, and then they'll hit the button. And look, auto trading. Let me go ahead. I totally said all that stuff without sharing the screen, so let me share the screen so y'all can see it. Give me a second. Sorry about that. So what I was just talking about was where. Let me do something real quick on the screen. Okay, so try to make this a little more visible to everybody. So on the top here, I'm going to zoom in, right? And these little tabs that you see, I'm going to get some arrows out. Let like this big fat arrow. So this little tab right there and that little tab right there, that's the indicator. And then you see the little diamond too. Those are exits. So this is an entry for a long. Might be a little hard to see on the screen. Okay, so I'm going to delete these arrows and zoom in even further. Okay, so, and it's not going to make these any bigger really, but this little green tab right there, and that's an entry for a long, and the little diamond above it is an exit for a short. A lot of times these happen at the same time, but a lot of times they don't. For example, on a prior trade, there's an entry for a long, or there is an exit for shorts actually. And I've been using these exits as entries too. So if there's an exit for a short, I've just been entering long. So this would have provided like at least getting out of shorts. And if you want to use it for an entry long at 66,000, and exit didn't happen until 72,000, right? And then an actual entry full on as per the indicator. Here it was, I was talking about this earlier, right here. The entry would have been at about 72.8, but then the algo was able to tell that it's time to actually get out and go short, and that happened right about the same price, 73,000, like $200 move up. There's room for error on that, so it would have been like maybe a slight win, slight loss, break even, and then that entry was on, and that entry was on and popping, and that was back from Wednesday the 13th of March, and the algo has not called an exit on this trade yet. And it's still in this trade. Now, what do I think is going to happen with Bitcoin? Now, that's just following the algos. It was a massive short. I could have shorted there, and the trade would have been probably like a 5-to-1 or something ridiculous like that, which is huge. That's a 5-to-1 means like risking $100 to make 500 or $1,000 to make 5,000. So, because I do some pretty tight stops on these because I've tested it, and my own trading style is such that I can. And this is a 9-to-1. So this would have been like risking $100 to make 900. Actually, probably closer to 10-to-1 here. Yeah, literal 10-to-1 on this. This is the one above there was like not that great, but then again, you got out before you got hurt, right? So the prior long, and then this one here, like for example, here's a trade that didn't go so well, right? Here's an entry for a short. And that entry happened at 61,800, but the exit for shorts happened at 62.50. So you didn't get hit. Like if your stop loss, let's just draw this out. So let's just say this was my entry. I got in right here. Maybe I used like a structure-based, maybe I was just going to wait for it to tell me to get out. Maybe I'm using structure-based exits. It's a nice, maybe 1.5-to-1, whatever that is. Well, it got me out real quick because it was time to go long. Right? It was time to at least exit shorts, and it got me out to where it's just a slight loss. Instead of losing, $100 that I would risk, I only lost like maybe 15. This is a killer one. This is my masterpiece one. We have different algos. We're going to make available, mix and match, have fun, do what you want. And that's going to be very soon at a very affordable price. The Algo Factory members are going to get a 50% discount on that. But as we are analyzing price here, we can always look at those algos as we're doing right now. Now, what I've done is I've marked out 2020 Cool Cat, the era of nail guns. I've marked out the liquidity nodes. I got it off Kingfisher. We always go to the kingfisher.io. If you want to use the Kingfisher, you can look at this data. It's actually free if you want to just simply use liquidity maps, right? There is a link. What do you call it? What do you call those things? Affiliate links. There's an affiliate link in the description of this video if you want to use the Kingfisher, and it's very valuable. You can just spin a wheel, get free credits just for this data, but they also have like options data. They have a ton of data. I believe you can actually trade straight off their website if you want to. So with this, though, I think for the moment right now, there's liquidity real close by at like 62.4, at least that as of 10 minutes ago, which means it's probably still there. So price will probably, I think we might see price kind of head up and grab liquidity from a little bit higher, which I didn't mark out. The closest notable liquidity is around like 69,000. So we'll just put a quick line up there. That's way up here. Now price could just go up there, but that's pretty high. But it would not surprise me to see price actually head up and grab that, because right now the charts do favor a move up, at least in the short term. So if it doesn't go all the way up there, though, it could simply just grab liquidity at maybe like 66,000, 68,000. I mean, there's liquidity in all kinds of little areas on the way up there. So it could grab some here, it could grab some here, like any of these spots price could go to right now. And so what I do is I use those as basically like targets if I want to go long. And I short Bitcoin, I win Bitcoin in the bull market, but really anymore, I'm more looking for longs in the bull. It's tough to short Bitcoin in the bull because the liquidity grabs are disgusting. But price may come to here and come back down and grab liquidity. It might here. Let's do this with a different tool. Price might come to here and then come down and grab liquidity, or it might actually come up here or up here. So any of these points in the next couple of days, I do expect, say, through the next day or two to see price head up as high as 69,000, but it may only get up to 66,000 before it reverses down. It just really depends. There's more liquidity up at 68, so that kind of is where I am, let's just say, suspicious or whatever. Now, if that's the case, what we might see here, if it goes all the way up to 68, what might happen is that some of these longs come off, the liquidity profile changes, whatever it is, and we might see price kind of range in here before it actually does something else, right? That could happen, but it's a little early to kind of make those assumptions, if you will. So the only real thing I'm comfortable saying right now is that price might rise up to grab liquidity at 66, 68, or 69. And then whatever happens after that, we'll reassess at that time. So that's my look at Bitcoin. V the Gorilla, sir, do you have any opinions on Bitcoin? And then, oh, by the way, one last bit, and I can't believe we didn't talk about this yet. Today is FOMC, so a lot of things could happen. So yeah, I mean, we have, Chow, my boy Chow, Jerome Powell, Chairman Powell Chow. He is going to go ahead and talk about what's going to happen with the rates. And we think, should I say what we think, V? We talked about it yesterday.
Yeah.
We think there's just going to be a pause. I mean, that's pretty much the market, consensus guess, if you will. We think there'll just be a pause in rates. So we're not, anticipating anything different. But what happens even if there is a pause is there's a lot of money kind of sitting on the sidelines in case of a surprise. So, with that being the case, I think that price could actually head up and grab this once there's a little uncertainty out of the market. Hey, we got videos you need to see. That's a great channel. If you go on X, videos you need to see actually has some really interesting videos over on X. I'm glad X is allowing us to have comments now, because people watching on X used to not be able to comment through StreamYard, so it's pretty sick. At any rate, though, yeah, I'm looking at this. Look at something like this. That's Bitcoin. We do have time for another chart. V the Gorilla, do you have a chart you want to see, or should we ask the audience?
Let's ask the audience.
Okay. Yeah, Lisa and I were both listening to Joaquin Flores, and she came over here to watch us. I love it. What did you say? I'm sorry, V. You said
I said thank you, Lisa.
Oh, thank you, Lisa. Yeah. You got a chart you want to see, V?
Yeah, let's put. Let's do Solana.
Okay, let's do SOL. Man, I can tell you this. Oh man, thank you. A trading god. That is some high praise. Thank you, videos. Videos you need to see has been following me on X. Since V and I opened up the X channel. Of course, I'm kind of more on there than V is. V's got some high level stuff he's dealing with, so I pretty much run the Algo Factory X channel, which is actually Algo Cowboy at this point. But videos has been on there for a long time, watching. So Solana is actually going to be following Bitcoin. In fact, you can get Solana liquidity off the Kingfisher. So let's do that. I think that's worth looking at, because Solana is actually, I think there's some interest in Solana at some interesting groups of people who are watching Solana. And when you have certain groups of people watching it, you want to take a look at liquidity on exchanges. So we're going to let Kingfisher do its calculation. Solana. All right, there we go. So the biggest sort of level of liquidity is at 149. And then you have liquidity all the way down to 149. And then you have a little bit above price. I'd say the strongest spike is sitting at 178. So 149 and 178 right now are my most likely areas for price to go to. So there's 149 and 178 is just above price. I'd say we probably hit 178 first because Solana is probably going to follow Bitcoin. Let's overlay Bitcoin to see how closely it does follow. And let me zoom this in to make it easier for everybody to see. And maybe we'll drop a time frame. Nah, 3 hours is good. Let's look at Solana. Look at Bitcoin on top.
Solana.
Solana.
It's like a Budweiser thing going on from back in the days.
Yeah, what's All right, so we got yeah, I mean basically following the trend. Now Bitcoin definitely pulling Solana up. But I think what we might see with Bitcoin, as Bitcoin settles into some sort of a range, I think we'll see Solana. I think we'll see Solana actually start to go up. So I'm going to do a same percent scale here so we can actually map it on here. So Solana, now we've seen it on a percent scale. We can see Solana outperforming Bitcoin and having done so since the 13th of March. So Bitcoin, reaching up to its, we're not seeing it on price here, but Bitcoin reaching up to its high right here. And we're talking about a percent change here. So Bitcoin falling a percent change, Solana picking up even harder after Bitcoin starts to fall in percent change. So Solana is definitely looking strong, looking good. I do think though Solana will probably reach up and grab. Let's get rid of Bitcoin here. Reach up and grab that 178 before it does anything else. Now, will it make it down to 149? It may not. Solana is so strong, but 149 is not only do we have liquidity there on the liquidity maps on the Kingfisher, we also have liquidity in this area here from a prior consolidation. So it may very well want to go down and grab that. And I personally think if Solana goes down to like 150, and if Bitcoin does look pretty strong, if we're not like in a major of a middle retrace, in the middle of a major retracement, something like that, then I might actually pick up some more Solana right there. Because that seems to, if you ask me, long term, it's at a discount right now. I think Solana could be $1,000 coin as long as traditional finance doesn't fall apart, as long as the market remains relatively stable, which I think will be forced into place because we're in an election year. As long as that all is the case, then I would expect Solana to be very easily $500 by the end of the bull, and over $1,000. Very, very possible. Obviously, we're talking about an Ethereum competitor. As much as people don't want to come to that reality, that just is what it is. So, we saw Solana, Sol BTC. Oh, Cool Cat wants to see Sol BTC. Yeah, so we could do that. That's BTC pairs are useful. Back in the day, I used to trade them and successfully. The thing about it though is I think that was like early crypto days, and that's what the pre-Tether days. Everybody was trading crypto based on a Bitcoin chart, and I think that everything has moved over to Tether. But Solana is outperformed Bitcoin from March 13th all the way up until March 18th. So for that kind of week there. And then the last couple of days, it has been underperforming. But you know what? Here's the thing about altcoins. Altcoins tend to be a leveraged version of Bitcoin. The strong alts do. The stronger alts, like the strongest alts, can actually outperform Bitcoin, but it tends to be like where Bitcoin dumps, alts dump harder, Bitcoin rises, altcoins rise higher. Harder. That tends to be the way things go. Not always, but that's just a way to look at that market. So that being the case, one thing people do is they will exit into Bitcoin and out of Bitcoin. So Bitcoin's going up, alts go up harder, but there are some exceptions to that rule. There are some caveats to that. And then once Bitcoin is topped out, they exit the altcoin and go into Bitcoin. But again, you're starting to get into some kind of deeper conversations about how to trade crypto. And most people are buying and holding. I think the vast majority of people I talk to are buying and holding. So, that's not going to apply to them. And I have a buy and hold bag. There's a fair amount of cryptos. People in Algo Factory know my positions that I'm holding through this bull market, and regardless of the pullbacks, just holding it. And I would say by and large, people who buy and hold win, because most people who trade don't come to Algo Factory and learn how to trade properly, how to build a trading plan, how to build a plan that will keep you from falling into the pitfalls of trading where 90% of people lose 90% of their money in the first 90 days. With actual trading, especially like Forex, that is a stat from Forex. However, I would be willing to place a folding money bet that those stats apply to crypto. What do you call it? Videos. Let me answer Video's question in a second. I bet you people trading crypto derivatives actually lose their money quicker than people trading Forex. Videos, we don't tell people when to buy things. We don't give investment advice, so we can't do that. But what I do is, I might do that. I would probably buy Solana if it gets to 150, but I wouldn't simply do that, right? I would, if Solana got to 150, I would take a look at the rest of the market. And if the rest of the market looked like it were going to continue to fall, I might hold off. I might pick up some, I might average in, but I assess the market kind of on a moment to moment basis, right? So I don't have it as simply as, hey, this is a number I like, I'm going to buy it. What if Jerome Powell said, we're going to hike, 150 basis points, like some surprise action. And then Solana made it to 150, but because it's such a surprise act, we know like Solana all of a sudden, drops to $50. Like, I don't just make decisions on a number. I take a look at the whole market as it hits a number, right? So yeah, Chow says buy the dips, I guess. Did he really say that?
I don't know what you're talking about. I cannot confirm nor deny. Solana. I know what you're going to do, Videos, but if it goes to 150, I personally will buy it because that's what I'm going to do. Maybe you can, if you want to copy what I do, that's all on you.
That's all on you. Yeah.
Wink, wink, nudge, nudge.
Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Yeah, we don't give advice.
Solana.
Gorilla, sir. Let's move over to the private.
Dude, that went quick, man.
Always goes quick when you're having fun, man.
Yeah. All right, let's go into the private. Hey guys, follow us over to the private if you're not with us. I can't say if you're not with us. That sounds like very neocon like.
Yeah, like
join us or die. There you go.
Join us or die.
Yeah, that's it's what is it they say in Star Wars? Only a Sith speaks in absolutes. You're either with us or against us. Like, yes. No, maybe I just don't agree with you.
Only a Sith speaks in absolutes.
Yep, this is the way it is. Okay, my man, give us that exit.
Oh, we haven't exited yet. Okay, listen, guys. Look, click the link, scan the QR code. You're missing out on so much. This is like let's talk about building a secondary form of income. Or you can sit around here, wonder if I read the white papers or not, and figure out if you're going to run to the bunker with your cat food because your frogs are turning gay. It's one of those things. So, yeah, I do. I love watching Jonesy. Everybody cuts their teeth on Jonesy. Jonesy's like the kiddie pool of it all, right? That's your intro to the red pill, and then things get deeper after that. But anyway, yeah, join us. Come join us over at Algo Factory.
Join us or die.
See, when you played that the first time